Okay, so in last session, okay, we have written our first line of code. Okay, hello world program. So we understood actually how to write code in Anaconda environment and Jupyter Notebook, right? Now the question is how do we store our data? So today we will discuss actually suppose we are declaring variables in our Python program. Okay, we have requirement to store data in our program. So how do we store our data? So, well, you already know the answer. So we have variables in every programming language. Okay, so suppose we have three values plus plus. Okay, any language. Okay, we have variables. So we use so variable is what? Variable is a temporary storage. Okay, temporary storage means variables, memory or variables will be available. Okay, till the program is running. Okay, depending on the scope of variables. Okay, variable scope may be a function level or variable. Okay, or maybe a application level variable. So depending on their scope, okay, variables okay will be available for use okay to your programs, and it is always temporary. So when you stop your program, okay, irrespective of their scope, okay, variables get discarded, okay, get removed okay from RAM. So we have uh, these three names: Alice, Bob, and John here. Okay, so and if you have to store this data somewhere in your program, okay, you have to store values in a temporary storage called variables. So these are the data types actually which are available for use in Python. Okay, there are few more data types okay in Python, but these are the data types which are commonly used. Like we have string type data type. So if you are storing or if you are working with Alice, Bob, John, any string means enclosed in single quote or double quote or triple quotes. Okay, the type of those values or variables will be string. So if you are dealing with numbers like 5, 25, 250, 500, any number, okay, minus 10, okay, then the data type of those variables or values will be int. And if you are working with decimal point values, okay, 2.25, 20.5, 25.75, okay, the data type will be float. If you are working with true false values, then the data type will be boolean bool. If you are working with okay in mathematics actually we sometimes we work with actually complex numbers, okay, real number and imaginary number, means real part and imaginary part, like 10 plus 2i. Okay, so it's a complex number in mathematics. So in Python, okay, for I we use J actually. So this 5J is a complex number. Okay, so we have complex data type in Python. If you create a list and closed in square brackets, it becomes a list. Okay, and if collection of values is enclosed in parentheses, then it becomes a tuple. And if collection of elements, comma delimited elements, okay, is enclosed in curly braces, okay, then it becomes a set. And if you create a name value pairs, key value pairs actually, not name value, key value pairs, okay, then it becomes what? It becomes a dictionary. And we have a range data type also. Okay, you can use range. Okay, we will discuss, we will understand these types in detail. Okay, in more detail. Okay, in this session. So we have range data type also. So you can use range function. You can pass a number, any number, and then it generates a range. Okay, sequence of numbers. And if you declare a variable and set that variable to none, okay, then that variable okay becomes of type none type. Okay, so none type is also a data type and Python. Okay, let's go to that Jupyter Notebook here, employee name. So this variable name is employee name, and if you set it to Alice, run this cell. Okay, so you can hit this run to run this cell, or press Control Enter or Shift Enter. Okay, to run this cell. So I'm pressing Control Enter. So this number, okay, next to it on the left side of this indicates that this cell executed. Add one more cell below this to display its value. Okay, copy this, paste, and run this cell. Again, you can press Control Enter or Shift Enter, or hit run. Now output is Alice. So value of this employee name variable is Alice. Okay. And if you change its value, let's change this to Bob. So this employee name is this variable name is employee name, and its value is currently its value is Alice. Now we are changing it to Bob. Run this cell. Okay, you can press Control plus Enter to run this cell, and then run next cell, and now its value is Bob. Okay, so similarly you can change its value here if you want to. So variable is what? Variable is a dynamic, uh, you can say dynamically typed programming language. So the Python is known as a dynamically typed programming language. So here we are not actually specifying this variable's data type explicitly. We are declaring a variable here. We are storing a value into this variable, and depending on the type of the value, okay, its type will be automatically okay set. So every variable uh, is associated with a type, or data type is associated to every variable depending on the type of the value. Okay, if you change it to John, run this cell, and now current value is John. Okay. Now, if you want to check its type, okay, type is a function that we will discuss little later. So here, to work with variables, okay, you don't have to declare and initialize your variables with the specific data types. We are declaring variable here, employee name, and we are not declaring it with a specific data type. Okay, so its type will be defined, okay, by the value, by the type of the value. So here, because this John is enclosed in double quotes, okay, so any value enclosed in double quotes is considered as a string. So here the data type of employee name will be string. So whatever the data type the value has, the same data type will be associated with the variable as well. So in this case, it will be string. Now let's understand. Okay, we have discussed all the data types which are available. Okay, so string we have discussed. Now integer. So if you want to check its type, okay, add one more cell here, and you can use type function and pass the variable name whose data type you want to check. We want to check data type of employee name. Enter, and now it is showing str. Okay, the same data type here, str. So now the data type of employee name is a string, right? Now, if you can use single quotes also to enclose this value. Run this cell, run this cell again, second cell again, and run third cell. to check the type of employee name now. And this time, this John is enclosed in single quotes, and still the data type is a string. Okay, you can use triple quotes also. So if you want to use triple quotes, let's remove this triple quotes and enclosing triple quotes. Now within triple quotes, let's write values ABCD1, ABCD2, and ABCD3. Okay, so to actually uh, to work with multi-line strings, okay, we can use triple quotes. So this is multi-line string. Okay, run this cell. Let's change the variable name to x1. Run this cell. Now display value of x1. So value of x1 is, if you see here, it is ABCD1, new line character, backslash n, ABCD2, backslash n, ABCD3, and backslash n, right? So this is multi-line string. And multi-line string or multi-line string value is always enclosed in triple quotes. Okay, you cannot enclose multi-line string in single quotes or double quotes. And if you want to check its type, to check the data type of x1, so data type is still string, right? The data type of x1 is string, and currently it is storing what? It is storing multi-line string. So this is of type string. Now I'll create integer type data. So to create integer type data, x1 and set it to 10. We are storing 10. Okay, in x1, execute this cell and then execute next cell. It will show, if you execute this cell, it will show the value of x1. Okay, so value of x1 is 10. So currently this value is assigned to x1. It is stored in x1. The value of x1 is 10. Now if you want to check the data type of x1 now, run this cell and see now the data type of x1 is int. So this data int, okay, because it is set to a number, a numerical value. Okay, so if you want to uh, store 2.25, a decimal value, right? If you store decimal value, now 2.25 is stored in x1. Display value of x1, it is 2.25, and if you check its data type, now it is float. Okay, so point is, we don't explicitly declare variables, okay, with a data type. Variables data type is associated, okay, based on the type of the value that you assign to a variable, right? So now data type of x1 is float. Now I'll go ahead and store a Boolean value inside this variable. So if we store true, okay, so Boolean value means true, false. So if you store true, run this cell, run this cell to display its value. Now its value is true, and to check its data type, run type of x1, and now the data type is bool. So it is Boolean now, right? And if you store false, run this cell, the value of x1 is false now, and it is still Boolean, bool, right? We have one more data type, okay, in Python are known as complex type. This is a complex type. So so complex numbers have a real part and an imaginary part. Okay, so when you were in high school, actually, you would have worked with numbers such as, okay, 2 plus 3i, 3 plus 4i, 5 plus 2i, 1 minus 1i. Here, the left side of the term is the real part. So in this in this complex number, 2 is the real part. Okay. So in 2 plus 3i, this 2 is the real part, and the 3i, so whatever is associated with the I part of it, okay, the 3 in this case, that is your imaginary part, right? So the complex data type represents numbers with both real and imaginary part. So in Python programming language, to work with, okay, these complex numbers, I is represented with J. Okay, so a complex number is written as A plus bj. Okay, so instead of writing, okay, in place of 2 plus 3i, okay, you would be writing 2 plus 3j in Python, right? So where a is the this a is the real part and b is the imaginary part. So let's go to the Jupyter Notebook. Now if you set x1 to 2 plus 3j, 2 plus 3j, run this cell. Now run x1. Now its value of x1 is 2 plus 3j. And if you run this cell to check the type of x1, so now the data type of x1 is complex, right? So which has both real part as well as imaginary part. So in this case, 2 is the real part, this 2 is the real part, and 3 is the imaginary part, right? So this is a complex number. And you can declare or you can create complex number using a complex class also. So we have a complex class. So if you want to create this complex number using a complex class, okay, you can use constructor complex pass 2 comma 3 2 comma 3. So first parameter is the real part and second parameter is the imaginary part, right? So if you run this cell, run next cell and see value of x1 is now 2 plus 3j. So here we created this complex number using this constructor, complex constructor, right? And now its value is 2 plus 3j. So if you run this cell to check its data type, okay, it is still complex. Okay, you can extract the parts of a complex number. Suppose you have requirement to extract the real part and the imaginary part of a complex number. Okay, so we have properties. We have real property. We have IMAC property. Okay, IMAC property. So a real property extracts the real part as a float, and IMAG extracts the imaginary part, okay, as a float. So we have this 2 plus 3j. Okay, let's add one more cell. Okay, if you want to extract the real part, okay, from this complex number, you can write x1 dot real. Okay, x1 dot real. This real is a property. Run this, and now it is showing 2 dot o. Okay, so this 2 is the real part of this complex number. And if you want to extract the imaginary part, let's add one more cell and write x1 dot image, imag, and it is 3.0. So imaginary part is 3, the real part is 2. Okay, so you can use these two properties, real and imag image, okay, to extract real and imaginary part, okay, from a complex number. So this is how, okay, you can deal with complex numbers in Python. Next data type is list. Okay, so and list is always enclosed in square brackets. So x1, let's create elements, apple, banana, and cherry. Okay, so it's a delimited, okay, a list of elements enclosed in square brackets. Run this cell, run next cell, and it is showing the value of x1. See, apple, banana, cherry enclosed in square brackets. And if you check its type is list. So it is list. Okay. In list, okay, you can access members of a list, okay, using index. So here, if you want to extract first value, okay, you can write x1 0. It is giving apple. Okay, indexing starts from 0. So 0 means first element, and x1 1 is banana. Okay, so elements can be accessed using index, and you can use negative indexing also. Okay, using a negative indexing in C language, C++ language is not allowed. Okay, that is not allowed in C++ base, but in Python, okay, you can use negative indexing. And negative indexing, positive indexing starts from 0, but negative indexing starts from -1. Okay, so if you use 0, 0 corresponds to what? The first element, apple. Okay, 1 corresponds to banana, second element, and then 2 to third element. But if you use -1 will give you what? The last element. So -1 means now the indexing will start from right. Okay, so -1 would give you cherry. So if you write -1 here, so x1 -1, and it is giving you, okay, we'll get cherry. So the last element. And -2 would give you what? Okay, it will give us banana. See? Okay, so we can use both positive indexing and negative indexing. Right. Next data type is tuple. Okay, so it is like a record actually. Okay, a row. So here, if you enclose this and round brackets, parentheses, so tuples are ordered and immutable collections. Okay, so immutable means what? Which cannot be updated. Okay, collections used to store multiple items in a single variable. So if you have requirement to store multiple variables, okay, in a single variable, in that case you can use this tuple, and it's a ordered list. Okay, so once created, tuple elements cannot be modified and are accessed using indexing. Okay, elements can be accessed using indexing. So if you run this cell, okay, hit run to execute this cell and execute second cell. Now it is showing, see, apple, banana, cherry enclosed in parentheses. And if you check its type, it is now tuple. Okay, so this is of type tuple. A tuple with a single element must include a trailing comma. Suppose you have only one element in your tuple. In that case, you must always use this comma. Okay, otherwise the Python treats it as a normal value instead of a tuple. Okay, so if you want Python to treat it as a tuple when there is only a single value, single element, okay, within parentheses, then always use this trailing comma, okay, in your statement. Okay, so if you, okay, we have checked its type, it is tuple, and if you want to access the second element, okay, you can use 1 here, and it will give you banana. And if you want to access first element, you can use 0. Okay, and now it is apple. Okay, and if you want to access last element, okay, you can use -1 and it will give you the last element cherry, right? Now we'll discuss next data type, that is set. Okay, so if you create a collection of elements and enclose in curly braces, okay, it becomes a set. So let's enclose this and curly brackets. Curly brackets, run this cell, run next cell, and see now values are enclosed in curly brackets. Okay, now to check its type, see now this is set type. So sets are unordered and mutable collections used to store unique elements. Okay, so unique elements means what? Suppose let's store A, A, B, C, B, and A. Okay, so I said this collection is used to store unique elements. So here we have actually the multiple occurrences of A, B, right, and one occurrence of C. Okay, so run this cell. Now run next cell and see now it is showing only three elements, unique elements. Okay, so if you store duplicate elements, okay, duplicate elements will be automatically removed. So because it stores only unique elements. Okay, and it's a unordered, okay, collection of elements. Unordered means, okay, we cannot actually access these elements using indexing. Okay, we can use loop, okay, to access elements of this collection. So if you check the type, it is set, and if you want to access its element, okay, you can use a for loop. So here for element and x1 print element. Okay, so this is a syntax for this variable. You can use any name here. Okay, A, B, C. I'm using element here, ELE here, and this is the collection name. So this is x1. Okay, then colon. Okay, so in C language, we use actually to create a block in any language, okay, which belongs to C family. Okay, we use curly brackets to create blocks, right? But in Python, okay, we use indentation, okay, to create block, right? So here for ELE in x1, then colon, and then use indentation. So now this print statement will become part of or the member of block of for loop, right? To make a statement member of a block of something, okay, you can use indentation. So if you run this cell, okay, it will give you the elements of, okay, this set. So currently it is saying that there are only three elements, okay, A, C, B. So if you see here, I said unordered collection of elements. If you see here, okay, when we actually execute this cell, it showed A, B, C, but now it is showing A, C, B. So there is no specific order. So if you run this cell multiple times, okay, you may get, okay, different outputs. Okay, it may show elements in different order because this collection is unordered, right? So keep this in mind that set is always unordered and it stores unique elements. So if you store, okay, duplicate values, then it will automatically remove duplicate elements. It will keep only one element, okay, one copy of an element. So sets in Python are unordered. So the order of elements when printed, okay, may vary each time the code is run, okay, because there is no order, right? Then we have dictionary. Okay, you can use key value pairs. enclosed in curly braces, okay, to create a dictionary. And elements can be accessed using keys. Okay, so dictionary are used to store data in key value pairs. Okay, key colon value pairs. So each key in a dictionary must be unique. Okay, you cannot reuse a key. Okay, you cannot use a key multiple times, right? So a key must be unique, and values are accessed using their keys. Okay, with square brackets, or you can use get method also. Okay, to access an element. So let's create key value pairs here. So key is name. Name is John. And next key is age. And value is suppose 25. Okay. So we have two key value pairs. Okay, in this dictionary. First pair is name, keys name, and value is John. And second pair is value keys age and value is 25. Run this cell. Run next cell, and now it is showing the value of x1. Okay, so name value pairs, key value pairs are enclosed in curly brackets. And now let's check the data type of x1. So data type is dictionary. Actually it is dictionary, right? Now if you want to access uh, values, okay, so in this case you can use x1 x1 square bracket, okay, and then you can use a key. Okay, so to access the value of name, you can use name. X1 of name is John. So x1 of name, okay, would give you the value of this name key, which is John. And if you want to access the value of age, you can write age, okay, and its value is 25. Okay, you can use get method also, okay, to access value of a key. So x1 dot get. So get is a function. Get value of age. Use now round brackets, parentheses. So x1 dot get value of age. If you run this cell, okay, it would give you value of age. And to access value of name, okay, x1 dot get value of name is John, right? So this is how you can use dictionary, okay, in Python. Next is range function. Range. So to use range, okay, so the range function in Python actually, okay, this is used to generate a sequence of integers within a specified range. Okay, and it is most commonly used in loops to control how many times a block of code, okay, should run. Okay, so you can use a range function to control, okay, the iterations, okay, to control loop. Now, to create a range, okay, you can use a range function, range, and pass a number. So if you want to generate numbers starting from 0 to 5, okay, pass 6. Okay, this number is excluded actually. It is not included. Okay, so x1 equals to range 6. Run this cell. Now execute next cell, and it is showing the range 0 to 6. Okay, this upper limit is not included, right? So if you check the data type of x1, okay, the data type is range now. Its data type is range. And you can, okay, print its values, its elements, okay, x1 elements, okay, using for loop. So for ELE x1, print ELE. Okay, run this cell and see 0, 1, 2, 3. So 0 through 5. So upper limit is not included. Okay, so if you want to generate a sequence, okay, 0 through 5, okay, you can use function range 6. So it will generate number 0 to 5. So upper, this number is not included, right? So you can use it to generate numbers, okay, starting from 0 up to a given value, okay, and the given number is not included, right? So this is a variable. Okay, we have covered almost all the variables. Okay, if you set x1 to none, then the data type will become none type. So if you set it to none, run this, check its value, no value, and if you check its type, it is none type now, right? So like in an object-oriented language, okay, you can use or in any reference type variable if you assign null. Okay, so null means the value is not present. Okay, so variable is not actually there is no value present in a variable. Okay, so that is none type. Okay, now we will discuss operators. Okay, we have 15 minutes. So let's start operators. Okay, you can ask if you have questions. Okay, otherwise we will move on to the next concept in Python. Okay, which are operators. Okay, do you have any questions? Anybody?
No question, sir.
Okay, great. So now we will move on to the next concept, and that is operators. So in Python, we have three types of operators. Okay, so the as the name states, okay, you can basically perform different sort of operations, okay, on the variables or on the data with the help of these operators. Okay, you have arithmetic operators, you have relational operators, okay, and logical operators. So we will start with arithmetic operators. Okay, let's go to the Jupyter Notebook. Uh, I'll create two new variables here. So let's create x and set x to 10 and y store 20. Okay, in y and run this cell. Okay, we have execute this cell. So now we have two variables. Okay, x has the value 10 and y has the value 20. Now arithmetic operators, as the name states, okay, you can basically perform arithmetic operations or mathematical operations on the variables or the data. So now these operators are basically you have plus, minus, multiplication, division, and in arithmetic operator set. Okay, you have okay these operators. So you have okay you can use hash for commenting. Okay, in Python. So you have plus, okay, plus operator. You have minus and multiplication. Okay, which we can do with star operator. Okay, you have star for multiplication and forward slash. Okay, this is division actually. Okay, which we can do with the forward slash. Okay, I'll start with the first arithmetic operator, which is addition, right? So to add two numbers, okay, I have to use the plus operator, and I'll just type in x plus y here. So you can write x plus y. Okay, we are using now plus operator here. Okay, so run this cell, and it is 30. So as you see, we have got 30 because 10 is stored in x and 20 is stored in y. And when you do 10 plus 20, okay, you get a value 30, right? Now let me subtract x from y. So if you subtract x from y minus x, okay, run the cell. So I'll do what? I'll do y minus x, okay, to subtract x from y and y minus x. okay, would give you 10. Okay, so we get a value of 10. So when you subtract 10 from 20, okay, you got a value of 10. Okay, now we will move on to the next operator, okay, which is multiplication. So I'll type in x star y. Okay, x star y. Okay, for multiplication. Now it is 200. So when you do 10 into 20, okay, you get a value of 200. Okay, so this is multiplication. Now we will move on to the next operator, which is division. Okay, so y divided by x. Okay, y divided by x. It is 2.0. So 20 divided by 10, okay, will give you a value of 2. So these were the arithmetic operators. So we are done with the arithmetic operators. And now we will move on to the next set of operators, okay, which are uh, relational operators. So we have for relational operators, okay, we have greater than symbol, we have less than symbol, and we have double equal to, right? This is equal to operator and not equal to. This is not equal to operator. Okay, so let's understand each of these one by one. So again, we will take the same set of values. X is 10, Y is 20, right? So let's check if X is greater than Y. Okay, so to check if X is greater than Y, okay, write X greater than Y. So in this statement, we are checking if X is greater than Y. The value of X is 10, Y is 20. So if you run this cell, okay, it it is giving false. Okay, so as you can see, we get a false value here because X is not greater than Y. Okay, 10 is not greater than 20. So that is why it is giving false. Now let's check if Y is greater than X. Y is greater than X. Yes, it is true. Okay, 20 is greater than 10, so it is true. Now we will check if X is less than Y. So you can use this operator. Okay, X is less than Y. Yes, it is true because X is 10, Y is 20. So 10 is less than 20. It is true. And Y is less than X. This is false. Okay, so 20 less than 10 is false, right? Now we will check if the values, okay, which are stored in X and Y are actually equal. Okay, so you can use equal to for checking equality. So if you want to check whether the value of X is equal to Y, okay, it is false. 10 is not equal to 20. Okay, the value of X is not equal to Y. So this is false. And if you check if X is not equal to Y, so it would give you what? It would give you true. True. Yes, because 10 is not equal to 20. So we get a true value here. Okay, not equal to. You can use here. Okay, so suppose you have X. Okay, let's declare X, set X to 50 and Y equal to 50. Okay, and run this cell, add a new cell. Now check if X is equal to Y. Yes, now X is 50, Y is 50. Right, we have executed this cell. So if you check for equality, Okay, if you check whether x is equal to y, okay, it would give you true. Yes, 50 is equal to 50. Okay, we get true here in this case. So this is how you can use relational operators to summing it up. Okay, you have the greater than operator, the less than operator, the equal to operator, and the not equal to operator. Okay, so now we will move on to the final set of operators. Okay, which are logical operators. Okay, so we have AND operator, we have OR operator, we have NOT operator, we have bitwise operators. Okay, so AND operator gives true when the both the operands are true, right? If any one of the operands or the both the operands are false, okay, it gives false result. AND operator, I'm talking about AND operator, and that is how the AND operator works. Okay, so let's set x to true. Okay, let's change value here. Set x to true and y to false. Okay, run this cell and let's delete these cells. Okay, to keep the thing simple. Now here x and operator y. So x operand, the value of x is true, the value of y is false, and operator gives true when both the operands are true, right? So in this case, the y is false. So it will give us what? False, because one of the operands is false, right? Here, if we write x and x means true and true. Now both the operands are true. So it will give us what? True. Now both the operands x and x are true. And if we use y and y, now both the operands are false. Okay, so it is giving false. So to get true, both the operands, okay, must be true in case of AND operator. Okay, OR operator. So in case of OR operator, okay, we use pipe symbol actually for OR operator. Okay, so here use X pipe Y. So in case of OR operator, okay, to get true, at least one operand, okay, must be true. If one operand is true, then OR will give you true. So here X or Y, X is true. So it will give us what? True, because X is true, and X or X. Now both the operands are true, so it will give us true. In case of OR, okay, OR gives false only when both the operands are false. So if you use Y or Y, now both the operands are false. So in this case, okay, it would give false, right? So these are the logical operators. Okay, so we are done with variables. We are done with operators. Okay, we will discuss and use okay more operators. Okay, when required. Okay, when we will be covering actually machine learning. Okay, so we are done with the variables and operators today. Okay, you can ask if you have any questions. So we have 1 or 2 minutes. Yes. Have you started practicing your Python programs? Have you created this Python environment in your system for practice? Write yes
Yes,
in
sir.
chat.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
Sir, yes, sir.
Everyone write yes if you have configured environment in your system for practicing. If you have started practicing, okay, these programs, write yes in chat. Okay, great. if you have not yet installed or configured this environment, okay, in your system, okay, do install Python, create environment, and start practicing. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining.